Hey guys, so I want to talk about body fat. Yes, I want to talk about body fat. I want to talk about gaining muscle and going down in body fat. Yes. So of course, this is the business. Oh, I got a big bruise from learning muscle ups on CrossFit rings. Yeah, big bruise. This is the business. This is me. You know, yada yada. 6 years in ketosis with no refeeds on carbs or sugars. Yes, I gained weight, especially in the last year when I started messing with my macros. Sirens! You know we gotta get going some sirens over here. Yes, we do. Okay, so let's talk about it. Now, my last video I was talking about one of my client stories and about how she had all of these inflammatory markers, high C-reactive protein in her blood, so that's really bad, and issues with her adrenals and like a protocol to repair the dysfunctional adrenals. But right now I want to talk about the body fat. So a lot of people keep thinking, which also I talked to a young guy at my gym who was, a lot of guys have this thing where they want to get down to 6% body fat and they're starting in the 20s. I'm like, you know, we need fat. We need fat for our skin. We need fat for our cell lining. We need fat for our brain. We need fat for our reproductive system. We need fat for a lot of things. So when your fat gets too low, you are compromising your health and well-being. So I sit, you know, I'll probably go, the lowest I've been is 9. And I sit between probably 10, 11.5% body fat. Yes, that's probably where I sit. And some people say, well, you know, why don't you go lower? And I'm like, no, because my lady bits would be gone. So this is where I feel good. This is where I feel confident at the tender age of 48. Yes. A lot of you guys have unrealistic body fat goals. A lot of women want to be at 15. Here's what it is. Are we having World War III outside? We've got ghetto birds. We've got sirens. We've got this kid who plays his TV too loud right across the way. I'm just saying. Just need some quiet and some peace. So I gotta find peace within. So a lot of you guys have your body fat ideas of how low you want to go on keto unrealistic. No, you're not going to go from, even guys who are like sitting at 15 wanting to go down to 6. No, they're like, could I on keto? I'm like, you could, but ultimately you're going to need a lot of that fat or that body fat for structure and for well-being, right? You're going to need some subcutaneous fat. You don't want to have visceral fat near the organs, but you need some sub-Q fat. You need fat for cells. We need it. Why go that low? Women who say that they want to get down to, these are the two numbers I get. I get 13 and I get 15. Now you're looking at, oh, it's so noisy. I literally have to shut my balcony door. Really? Oh, it's so noisy. Jeez. Okay, so why, in the case, so the women want to get us like 13. And they're like, but you're at this body fat? I'm like, yes, but I'm muscular. I'm developed. You see, I'm muscular, I'm developed. I have very nice, efficient cells, mitochondria within the muscle cell. I've got wonderful, fabulous GLUT4 receptor sites. I'm low insulin. I have sound, strong adrenals and thyroid. The HPA axis, the hypothalamus pituitary, is and my adrenals are all, they're like, we're good to go. And so therefore when I eat tons of fat, I'm very active, you guys. I ride my bike everywhere. I have a car, but I ride my bike more than I drive. I ride my bike and I have pretty extensive time in using body. Now today was very interesting because I was doing this probably for maybe an hour on both arms, right? And I was going here and then I was going here because I'm trying to, you know, rehab the shoulder from muscle ups. But anyway, here we go. The body fat percentage. Now I've explained this concept in other videos. Keto goes in 3-month chunks. You can't just start the ketogenic diet right away and expect to start, even if your glucometer says that you are in ketosis with glucose low and ketones at a high range around 3.0, glucose under 4.4 or 80 milligrams per deciliter. Some of you will hit that range and they're like, you're expecting to just, but the brain still has to get used to consistently using ketones as its viable source of fuel. It's not like you can just, first of all, you have to jack your fats real high, you have to flood the bloodstream with fat, you have to get the brain to be addicted to fat rather than carbohydrates, and without having adrenal dysfunction, without having too much cortisol response or gluconeogenic response from starting the ketogenic diet in itself, because we can't have two fuel sources competing in the bloodstream because the glucose will always win. So that's why it goes in chunks. You have to develop enzymes to break down the fat, to convert it into ketone bodies, to get through the Krebs cycle in your brain and all this kind of stuff. It's a process, and through the whole thing, we are always going to go up and down and around in our glucose spiking. It's our rocket fuel, and we're always going to need it. Yes, we're always going to need it. So with that said, the body fat that's realistic for people has to do with their internal health. So if you're an unhealthy person, if you're still crashing in the middle of the afternoon, you know, for a guy, a more realistic body fat for a guy starting in his 20s is around 11%, 12% body fat. That's perfect. 10 to 12%. You're going to have abs, you know, at 10. You're going to have cuts at 10. You're going to have, your body is going to aesthetically, I know I shouldn't talk about aesthetics, but you guys are aesthetically going to show that lean and that bubbliness and shape to your muscle when your body fat gets to around 11% for a male. Now women look great at 18%. So for me, women who start off at 30% body fat and they want to get down to 15, I'm like, you know, it's going to be hard for you to get down to 18 because we got to deal with your estrogen dominance. Yeah? We got to get your lifestyle habits back in order. Like women, that second half of their day, they keep putting themselves in a sympathetic state of fight or flight, and they're cortisol junkies. Yeah? You can't freaking get down to 15% body fat if your insulin is skyrocketing all day long, because insulin is a storage hormone. Yes, that's why a lot of women don't lose weight and people don't lose weight on keto. Yes, I mean, or they gain weight. My bad, because 3-month chunks, after a while, your body becomes so good and efficient at using ketones, eventually you can start playing with your macros and lowering your fat to then access more body fat. Yes. That's what I wanted to talk about. Now, you're going to have to heal now. The woman that my last video was talking about, this client story, she has a journey. And unfortunately, a lot of you guys have that journey as well. If your adrenals are dysfunctioning, that means that you're going to produce too low cortisol in the morning, and then you're going to have these spikes of cortisol all the time. You're going to have like an adrenaline response. Your serotonin probably is downregulated. You have issues with your dopamine receptors, and if you're doing caffeine. The thing that was very interesting about this woman was her low D. If you're low D, you're not going to adapt fast. Because if you're low D, you probably don't absorb Bs very well, and you're probably a little malabsorptive. Things go in chunks. Learn how to absorb your vitamins and minerals. Clear up the gut dysbiosis. Yes. Find out if you're estrogen dominant, women. Men, find out if your T levels are too low. Can you sleep at night? Do you have any insomnia? Are you dead tired in the morning? Do you crash in the afternoon? Those are the things that are relevant and relative to understanding your body fat percentage. Because if you are metabolically sound, you're going to be able to manipulate your body fat. And if you're metabolically deranged, you're not going to be able to. The goal should never ever, and listen to me well, the goal on doing keto should never be to lose weight. The goal in keto is always to be healthy. right? When you are fully adapted, now you become very anabolic. Well, there's the balance, the homeostasis between anabolism and catabolism, and it puts you right here because you're always breaking down. But the breakdown is not as much. You guys don't think that you're breaking down? You are. And that's why you got to do your due diligence and pay attention, right? Step away from technology, stop being distracted, get to know yourself better. Like, hello, nice to meet you. Stop being in denial, you're not being graded, and find out what's really going on with your body. Your body is a reflection of your mind, and if you don't like your body, change your mind. If you don't like what I'm saying, change the channel. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, guys, that's it. If you want to learn more, go to stephanieperson.com, or you can go to Stephanie the Business Person on my Facebook fan page, or Stephanie Ketogenic on my Instagram, and I'm just going to keep pumping this stuff out because I can. I got some energy.